Jones back in sequence. Why? Because when they came in their first green flag stop, they had a full tank of fuel. Paul?
Back on board with Tony Stewart, and there is Buddy Lazier just ahead. Barely 100 yards separates them, and Stewart very much on the charge, trying to make up the difference as they thread their way through the fourth corner. And my question would be, are those tire fragments we're looking at on the screen, you think, Danny?
Well, I think what we saw was when he went down into 3, he got it. So I would assume there's probably a little dirt still left on the track.
That's pretty easy to be happening now, especially where the track goes so close to the grass down there. And that really wouldn't affect the handling yet, but it certainly looks bad on the camera lens.
So Stewart makes the move. It's Jones, Lazier, Stewart, Lyondike, Zampedri, Salazar, and 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th are fairly tight on the course.
And you notice there, too, that Tony Stewart was very close behind Lazier, looking like he was going to make a pass, and now he's backed up to Ari, and Ari looks like he's closing on him. I don't know whether he turned his boost back down, they asked him to back off, or he just didn't like the disturbed air once he got behind Lazier's car.
I think another thing right now is Jones. As fast as he's been running is right now, he's up to almost 230 miles an hour now. That's really fast for him. He's been a little bit slower than that all day.
Here comes Lyondike again as something's happened with Stewart. Stewart suddenly slows. Danny, you were watching his speed and it fell off a little bit, didn't it?
Yes, but not as much as this. He's definitely got a problem. He didn't go in
the back of the car there. There's a plume of something.
Yeah, but and you can hear it a little bit. I think it sounds a little off song. But he's still going around. He didn't come into the pits. Is he going to come in there? No.
Larry Curry, the crew chief,
you know,
as Stewart comes down the main stretch, we are under green. That engine is going.
You can see the smoke off the right side of the car. I think what he was doing was calling into why he didn't pit was, hey, Larry, what should I do? Do you want me to keep going? Do you want me to pit?
It's doomsday. He won't be able to go very long.
Let's go to Jack.
Let's see, Larry, what's wrong?
Pop-off valve started malfunctioning on the last run, hung the valve open. It looks like we broke the motor.
Yes, as he went by me down here, there's the smoke coming out pretty fast. As he went by here, he had a cylinder not running on the 6-cylinder engine, only had 5 cylinders. That's doomsday. Tony Stewart will be out.
You heard Larry Curry pronounce, might be a little bit of oil fire in the left rear of that car. Larry Curry, of course, pronouncing it out. And so now he joins Walt Faulkner and Theo Fabi as rookie pole sitters who do not win the Indianapolis 500-mile race. No rookie pole sitters ever accomplished that.
And Bobby, I've got a question for you. Larry Curry said that they blew the pop-off valve, and that's what blew the motor. Does that make a lot of sense to you?
It does. So Larry is getting a little bit technical on his answer. What he's saying is when you blow the pop-off valve, everything works really hard. The back pressure in the exhaust system goes up. This causes problems, internal heat on the piston inside. I know that's a little detail, Danny, but that's what he means. And he should have never been popping the pop-off valve this early. He should have never been running that engine with so much horsepower that close to the edge.
So Tony Stewart out while Eddie Cheever in the pits as well. You saw him come past, Tony. Let's go back and look at the replay, but let's also listen to the onboard, and we'll hear the engine.
That's a terrible sounding engine. They don't sound good. They don't sound nice and smooth when they're not running right.
I don't know. Sounds like one I had when I was a kid. Eddie Cheever was into the pits, and he has stalled in the pits. He's not a factor at the front of the race. Here is where the battle exists right now, as Buddy Lazier is holding off Ari Lyondike. But boy, Lyondike has been running laps 223, 223.5. Here is Eddie Cheever as he came out of the pits just a moment ago. And that's when he got in trouble.
Oh, he didn't stall it.
That's not just a stall.
He almost spun. He spun the car. He half spun the car. That's why he stalled it. He had to stop it. He was losing control of the car.
I think that'd just be about a legal spin, wouldn't you think, Danny? Just almost there anyway.
Just about. That's why they had to pull him back and restart him.
Let's go to Jack Arute. Tony Stewart out of the race, Jack.
He's taking the air.
Oh, look at there.
Ari Lyondike jumps around Buddy Lazier as Lazier gets caught up behind Lynn St. James. Now, Jack.
Well, you lead 1 minute, and then you're out of the race, and Ari Lyondike makes moves. But Tony Stewart, you were messing with the pop-off valve, trying to maybe control some fuel, and then it popped off. And then we heard on board camera later, a couple of laps back to green, that the motor died.
Well, it's one of USAC's junk pop-off valves. At least next year in the IRL, we go to normally aspirated motors, and we don't have to worry about that garbage. So,
what about the track conditions? You know, we're seeing some awfully fast speeds. We're seeing some good, solid racing.
Well, the track's great. You know, everyone's using their head. Everyone's being very careful and running smart races right now. The lap cars are looking in their mirrors. Everybody's running good. I mean, it's a fun race out there right now. It's just a shame that we're in here.
Paul?
Well, we've got a number of purple cars, and I do apologize because the 91 car, Buddy Lazier, purple trimmed with a little yellow, is still in second place ahead. Well, maybe not for long. So maybe I spoke too soon. Lyondike moves. That still doesn't get him at this point.
You know, Paul, I made the same mistake. I have two cars among the Emma cars that look almost identically the same, so we all did it. Can't blame just you.
Well, they actually have three, and the thing to watch for on the cars, you look at the front shot of it, see those vertical yellow stripes down inside the wheels? That's the indicator.
And I think something we just missed while this pass was being attempted was that Jones just went and peeled off and went into the pit. So he's pitted under green.
Now remember, Davey was behind all the pit stops because he didn't stop in the last yellow. So as Danny said, pitting on the green is going to hurt him a lot. But it was Rick Gallis's gamble with the Delco car there.
Davi Jones makes his stop. Lazier is now the leader of the race with Ari Lyondike right behind him and trying to take that lead away. Jones drops into third. Johnny O'Connell, we mentioned out of the race earlier, Jerry Punch.
And Johnny said to me, Johnny, what a disappointment. You had to work so hard to be able to get sponsorship and get into the race, and it's a short day.
Yeah, you know, it's really unfortunate. We missed the first week here, and you know, the guys did a great job. Mechanics Laundry saved us financially, as did Optima Batteries. And, you know, with us having an endurance background as a team, I was just biding my time. I mean, we'd gone from 29th to 14th by lap 50, and I'm like, all right, this is no problem. Everything's cool. And then we started losing fuel pressure. So not certainly the way I wanted to debut at the Indianapolis 500, but we'll be back next year with a stronger effort.
Paul, he may not be driving anymore, but he is signing autographs. He didn't want to go back to the garage jury. He's standing out here on pit road talking to all the fans.
Well, the race average is picking up 153 miles an hour right now. Ari Lyondike turned the last lap at 2:27 as he continues his pursuit of Buddy Lazier. Lazier is the leader of the race. He turned the last lap in traffic down 5 miles an hour slower at 222. Let's go to Jack Arute.
Davey Hamilton for A.J. Foyt. Take a look at this. These are the half shafts that go from the power plant, the transmission, to the rear wheels. Believe it or not, Hamilton has a problem with the half shaft, and what we're hearing is, if necessary, they intend to change these half shafts on Davey Hamilton's car. He's coming in right now, gentlemen.
You know, unfortunately, Jack, if one of those things were to break, it just guarantees you a wreck, because then only one tire would drive. Nobody could drive a car straight like that.
So Davey Hamilton began changing maybe the half shafts. He's 4 laps behind the race, running in 17th position. As another problem, this is Jourdain, and it looks like yet another engine problem, Danny.
Well, an engine or something from that right side. It could be something in his right hub, but that doesn't look good. When you've got smoke coming out of your car at this stage of the race, you're not going to go very far.
Battle for the lead goes down the backstretch. There it is. As Lyondike inches forward. Looks like within a lap or two he could have him, if not sooner.
Well, I think what happened, Paul, is they most likely are both running in their cruise gears. And, for example, Lyondike is getting a good tow. In other words, it's going easier on his car because Buddy is helping pull him around all the way around the racetrack because he's close enough to get the draft all the time.
As they flash across the line on the 91st lap, interval remains the same.
And you know what? With Ari Lyondike, he might be sitting back there saying, I don't care if I pass the guy or not. I might just want to sit here and be comfortable, be pulled down the back straightaway, conserve a little fuel. and sit there and wait and see what happens.
And they're both handling extremely well. I watch them come to turn 2 over here, and you can just see the confidence that they have by the line that they take, Danny.
Interval closes in just a little bit.
Let's not forget one other thing, Bobby, that Ari Lyndike does not have radio communication from the pits to him. So he might be just strategizing himself a little bit and waiting to see what unfolds.
Well, Betty.